Today what we're going to do is look at different scenarios that can be modelled. We call this modelling with algebraic expressions. So I suppose just like a model might wear some clothes to kind of demonstrate what they look like, what we can do is take different situations in real life and use algebraic expressions to model them to give you an idea of what they look like. So it's a two-step process, and what you're going to do is get these notes down into your book, please. So the first note is different situations can be modelled with algebraic expressions, and then get down the steps, which step 1 is going to be to clearly define the variables, and step 2 is going to be use the information given to write an expression. So can you please get those into your books, pause the video here and write those down. Okay, now that you've got those in your books, let's do an example. So the first example is this one here. So again, as usual, you're going to write the word example and please write down that sentence there. So write an expression, okay, to find the total cost of a number of bottles of soft drink if each bottle costs $4. Okay, now that you've got that down, what we're going to do is define the variable. So the total cost of a number of drink bottles. So let's go let A equal, and it doesn't have to be A, you can use B, you can use Q, you can use X, whatever. Let A equal the number of bottles of soft drink. Okay, so we need to write an expression for this particular situation. So we know that we've got N, or A bottles rather, of soft drink, and we know that each bottle costs $4. So the total cost is just going to be 4 times the number of bottles that we've got, which is A. So 4 lots of A, which is 4A, written without the multiply sign. So that's our first example, nice and easy intro. All right, the second example that you're going to get down will involve you writing the example and then writing an expression for the following situations, putting this into your book, this into your book, and this into your book. So I'm going to get you to pause the video now and ensure that that is written down. Okay, now that you've got that written down, what we're going to do is write an expression for each of the following situations. So we've got a rectangle that has a length that is 2 centimeters more than its width. We need to draw a diagram to represent the information and find an expression to represent, well, firstly the perimeter and secondly the area. And they want this in what's called expanded form, and they want the perimeter in simplified form. So the best way to do these ones here is to actually draw the object. So draw a diagram. So we're going to draw a rectangle, and the length is 2 centimeters more than its width. Okay, so the width is what the length is based on, and we don't know what the width is. So we're going to say let A equal the width of the rectangle. Okay, so again, we're following the step-by-step process, which step 1 says clearly define the variables. All right, so now we'll draw the diagram. Okay, so we know that its width is A, and the length is 2 centimeters more than the width. So if the width is A, it's simply going to be A plus 2. All right, so the perimeter of this rectangle in simplified form, well, let's calculate the perimeter. It's just going to be A and A, so these two lengths here added together, and these two lengths here added together, A plus 2. Okay, and recall that all the perimeter is the distance around the shape. So we've got to add A plus A together, so A plus A, and then we're going to do the other two parts, which is A plus 2 and A plus 2, and you can see there that I've got the whole perimeter. So plus A plus 2 plus A plus 2. Okay, the perimeter is going to be A plus A plus A plus A, which is 4A, and then 2 plus 2, which is 4. Alrighty, Now what we want to get is the area of the rectangle, and it just says the word expanded here. Okay, so recall that the area of a rectangle is the length by the width, and here we've got the length is a plus 2 and the width is a, so we're just going to do a times a plus 2. Okay, so they want this in expanded form, so we're going to write a area equals a plus 2, and notice that the link between previous lessons here, we're going to use the distributive law to then answer this question. So area equals, so a times a by itself, or a times a, is going to be a squared, and a times positive 2 is going to be 2a. So there we go, we've got the area of the rectangle in this form here is called expanded form. Right, the next example we're going to do is a separate one, so this doesn't continue from the previous one. So example B is going to be this one here. So again, I'm going to get you to pause the video so that you can write that out. Okay, now that you've got that written out, we can read it carefully. The total cost of hiring a plumber for a number of hours if the charge is $40 for a call-out fee, $70 per hour. Okay, so we want the total cost. All right, well, what we don't know, we know that it's going to be automatically $40 because that's their call-out fee. That's the fee for attending the job and maybe traveling to your house using tolls and petrol and their time to attend the issue that you've got with your plumbing. So that's a standard $40 call-out fee no matter what. Plus $70 per hour. So this is going to be the one that varies, and the thing we don't know, let A equal the number of working hours. So we don't know how long they work for. So what we're going to do is note that it's going to be $40 call out fee no matter what. So we're going to say that's $40 plus 70 times the number of hours they work for. So for example, if they get there and they've just realized that you haven't turned the tap on, which is why it's not working, so it takes them 0 seconds or 1 second to fix your tap, then that's just going to be 70 times 0, the amount of hours they've worked for, plus $40. So they automatically get $40, which I think is fair enough. Because they've come all the way to your house to try and fix the job, they're expecting some more money in return, or they're expecting to be paid just for turning up, which I think is important. All right, so that would be an expression for the total cost. One thing we probably would do is just remove this multiply sign to write it as 40 plus 70a. All right, not that there is one, but let's just imagine that the cost for a Year 8 formal, so imagine the school says, hey, listen guys, what we're going to do is put on a Year 8 formal, and here are the costs. So it's $100 for hiring a DJ, an additional $5 per student. That's a cheap formal right there. If N is defined as the number of students attending, the first thing they want us to do is to write an expression for the cost of the Year 8 formal for N guests. Okay, so not for 100 guests, not for 20 guests, but for an unknown number of guests. So we know that basically no matter what happens, the DJ's got to get paid. So if no one actually comes to the Year 8 formal, and there's a DJ there on the deck sitting up the front and is banging out some tunes and no one's there, that DJ is still got to get paid no matter what. Okay, so we're going to get $100 no matter what. So it's $100 plus, so that's the constant. Now the variable cost is going to be the $5 per student, because I don't know how many people are coming. So that's going to be 5 times the number of students. Okay, and that's going to be the cost incurred for each student. All right, so we've got $100 plus 5 lots of N, which could also be better written as 100 plus 5N. Let's just see if that works. So if 2 students attend the formal, it's not very popular, I don't know, you don't like the DJ or something, then it's going to be 2 lots of $5, which is $10, plus the DJ's going to get paid. The cost is going to be $110. All right, so that would be our answer for an expression for the cost. Okay, now they want us to find the cost of the Year 8 formal for 80 students. So I know that that's going to be 100 plus 5 lots of 80. So this is 80 lots of the $5 cost plus the cost for the DJ. So that's going to be 100 plus 5 times 80 is 400. That's going to be, in total, a formal cost of $500. Alright, so how much will each of these students pay for a ticket to cover the cost of the Year 8 formal? So we're assuming that the school is not going to make a profit, okay? In which case, what we're going to do is note that if it's going to cost $500 and we're going to have 80 students attending, we're going to split the costs, the $500 between the 80 students. All right, so the way we can do that is we can say that that's 500 over 80 as a fraction. Now divide that one by 10, divide that one by 10, and what we get is 50 on 8, which is 25 on 4 when we halve both of them because we divide them by 2. And let's just write that as a mixed fraction. So 4 goes into 25 6 times with a quarter left over. 6 1/4. Okay, now what does that mean? We want to know how much of each student have to pay. So that's going to be, and we're going to use these 3 dots there. That means therefore in maths. That's mathematical shorthand for therefore. $6, and this is going to be a quarter of a dollar. So a $0.25. Americans know this one really well because they have a coin that is a quarter or called a quarter, and that means that that is a quarter of a dollar. So a quarter is worth 25 cents because a quarter of 100 cents is 25 cents. So $6.25 each. So please ensure that you've got this example all written down in your books. There is a bit of writing there. And then can you please move to the relevant questions from 5i? That is these ones there. All right, so good luck with that, and I hope it goes well.